G'day everyone, welcome back to another month in PuzzleCombat where we are going to take a look at the calendar of events. So let's dive straight on in, I guess. So thank you once again, as always, to Nektu for putting all of this together. So big shout outs and thank you to you. You have been awesome as always for putting this together. Only other bit of housekeeping, as always, we do have a free community server. It is completely free, completely anonymous for PuzzleCombat. The calendar's posted here every month along with a whole bunch of other content, discussions and whatever else. So feel free to jump on in to that server. There is a link in the description of my video as always. So please feel very much welcome to jump in with us. So yeah, let's dive into September 2024 in PuzzleCombat. So off the bat, we have got a new hero of the month, which is Bluebird, who is the Shocking Visionary, a recon class. I'm going to go with blue hero. There's something, gut feel. I think she's going to be a blue hero. So that's Bluebird. So keep an eye out for that review video. It should come hopefully within the first couple of days of September, depending on how much I pull my finger out of my ass and get my act together. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one, but that is going to be the hero of the month, based on what Nektu has been able to see. We can also see the Trailblazer SVK is the weapon of the month. Highly recommend this weapon. It is a 5-star green dodge weapon, so I can't praise it highly enough. There is a 4-star green dodge option, which is the Easy Pro 9, I want to say. So green is blessed with a 4 and a 5-star dodge option. So, maybe it's not as empirical to get as the Relic Hunter Bargo, but it is probably one of the better green weapons out there as well. So, if you've got some save tickets and you've got most of the other weapons of the month, this is probably one that's worth targeting or using those tickets towards getting. So yeah, that's the weapon of the month and the hero of the month for September 24. Diving into the rest of it, there is obviously another hero that's being added, which is Ribbon. We'll get to her later on as we get to that event. But for now, so where we are right now, today, at the time of me doing this recording, we do have the Undercover Gala going on at the moment, so you can see it there. It does have variant Logan and variant Stinger as the two featured variants. Still no variant Emma, which is quite disappointing. She's probably the variant I'm looking forward to most being summonable for as a featured hero, but yeah, I think it's 10, 11 months now since I've been back and counting, and I still haven't seen her as the featured hero. I'm sure she was featured once at some stage, but yeah, still hanging on to my variant coins personally. After that, we do have the Grand Heist to close out the month of August. So Naja and Night Owl as the two featured heroes. Look, the Grand Heist has got some decent heroes in there. It's the challenge event, which is purple is the reflect color, so yellow is the strong color against the mobs and such. So I don't mind the Grand Heist. At the end of the day, it is one of the older challenge events. In fact, I think it was the first challenge event added to the game. So the heroes have probably slipped the most, I'd say, compared to some of the more recent event heroes that have been added. But Pantera is still probably one of the best heroes going around. He's got substantial damage, or decent damage, but he's also got an AoE 5 Dispel, which is so clutch. So very good for him. Ramhorn is also quite good against minion generators. His minions are the chunkiest in the game, so he's a great combat to heroes like Pulse and Venus. Naja, not so great. Same with Night Owl. Night Owl's fun to use, but not great. And Wolf is just hot garbage. So, this time around with the Grand Heist, I'd probably save my challenge event coins, seeing as the two featured heroes aren't fantastic, but that would be me personally. So, yeah, challenge event though, so there's 3 difficulties: epic, rare, legendary, separate prize pools for each of them, which is awesome. Great emblems for completing them, so very much worth kicking into that. Following on the first event of the actual month of September, and I should also mention that the Grand Heist does look to bridge the month of August and September. So if you are going to summon in Grand Heist and already have Frostman, it might be worth saving those until later on and having a chance towards Bluebird, potentially, maybe. First actual event though in September is the Neon City Thrill. So we've got the refeaturing of Emerald, who is an absolutely amazing green hero. AoE 3 charge stop, good healing for herself for the damage she deals. Pretty good speed as well, does need the speed gun though to charge break, but otherwise is a really quality hero. Dark Skull is the other one. I think Dark Skull is a little bit overlooked often. His direct damage is quite substantial, but he's also got a really insane DOT effect, which can really just clear the board once he gets it firing and get some heroes afflicted with it. He is quite slow though, which is really his biggest downside. I think he's 12 or 13 tiles to charge. So yeah, keep an eye out for those 2 review videos as well. I will redo Emeralds. I do think that I may have been a little bit unappreciative, shall we say, when I first did her review, so I will be redoing it. And similarly, I haven't actually done Dark Skull, so keep an eye out for those 2 as they come out, and maybe 1 or 2 others. Following on, we've got the Built for War event, which is the Master Weapon Gun event. So some good options in there, no featured guns or anything like that, but it is a chance where you can summon for the Weapon of the Month, so there is that. I'm not a big fan of the event itself. I think it's a bit clunky and very energy intensive, so I tend to just play it through a couple of the stages here and there, but not put too much effort in. Battle of the Bands is starting on the 12th of September, which is our next one, so it's our 30-stage event. There's some really great heroes in there. It does look like this is the first month where we don't have new heroes being added for a while. So we've seen sort of a consistent drip feed of new heroes into this portal for probably the last 3 or 4 appearances. So yeah, this is the first month with no new heroes being forecast into that portal. So it is a hero portal without any featured options, which is kind of sucky because it means that you've got as good odds of getting one of the great heroes as you do one of the bad ones, but there are some really awesome heroes in there. You know, Fiddle is probably I would say, for me personally, I'd say she's probably the best green hero that's available. Certainly my favorite that I like to use. So yeah, really great heroes in there. Mayhem's a good option with Taunt and some pretty decent damage. Fiddle, as I said. Undertaker is really insane as well. Jolt's got some pretty high direct damage, so there's some good options in there to summon towards. Manor of Legends, which is the past heroes of the month, so we've got Deadeye and Pavati. Deadeye, not great. Pavati, really great. Pavati actually has some really insanely high pseudo healing on the back of her armor generation. So she's actually a hero that I think most people overlook as being a healer, mostly because she's an AoE 3 rather than an AoE 5. But she actually stacks up there with some of the best AoE healers, the best healers in the game, even though she's only for 3 heroes. So she's pretty okay, but Deadeye is not really at all good. I have 2 copies of her leveled, and I did it initially for a bit of fun, and I thought maybe I could use her as an eventing hero with 8-bit, but it just doesn't work. She's only got 3 hits. The hits aren't great, so yeah, she's not a good option. Realistically, the portal as a whole, being past heroes of the month, conceptually I like it. I think it's a good thing to have, but the odds are really, really, really bad, particularly when you're summoning for a hero that is unfeatured. It is a 1% for a featured hero and a 0.9% for an unfeatured hero, but there's like 40 plus heroes in that unfeatured portal. So the odds of getting someone specific from that unfeatured bunch is absolutely tiny. Like in 100 summons, it's like 2% or less to get the hero you're chasing after. So, you know, usually for this portal, I only recommend summoning here if there's 2 really great options as past heroes of the month. This time around, there's only 1 that's a good option and the other one's not great. So I'd probably advise hanging on to those tokens for a portal, an instance of the portal, which has got some better featured heroes, generally speaking. Monster Island starting on the 19th after that, which is the Alliance event for the month. So Monster Island is the one where you run around, you unlock the hexagons on the board, you fight the hordes, which respawn, and then also beat up the apexes, which are kind of like war machines, except squishier. yeah, it's an okay event. It's kind of been ruined for me, as I've said a couple times. The early iterations were really, really buggy, to the point where they were almost unplayable and they were completely unfair on the players. SGG never apologized or really said anything about it. They kind of they outright denied that there were any bugs with it for a very long time. It took myself and some other players a considerable amount of effort to actually convince SGG that there were bugs in the event and for them to actually fix it. And I think it took 3 or 4 appearances before they actually resolved all of those issues. So yeah, it kind of got ruined for me in those early stages. So I don't mind the event. I play it, but I think it's different. It's a different style of gameplay. The Portal and the heroes, they're actually generally quite good. There's some really, really awesome ones. These sort of ninja-esque heroes that have been added, they're actually really phenomenal. So you've got ones like Zodiac, Nomad, Sakura, and now Ribbon. So far, those heroes have actually been really insane. So it's going to be interesting to see how good Ribbon is compared with some of those other heroes. Again, there's no featured heroes, so if you're summoning in this portal, you do have as much of a chance of getting the good heroes or the new hero as you do of one of the older ones, which may or may not be as good as some of the newer ones. Like Jaguar, I'd say, is probably the worst option in the portal. But otherwise, I think they're pretty okay, generally speaking. I don't know. I've done all of the reviews for them. So with all of these portals, I'll sort of touch on it later, but each of these portals, I have an album, I guess, or playlist, that's the word for it, with each of the hero reviews. So I link all of those playlists in the description of these videos, these calendar videos. So when it comes around to X event, and you're curious about how a hero is and their grades and all of that sort of thing, you can always come back to these calendar videos and drop down and find the relevant playlist, or you can just navigate it from my channel. But yeah, Ribbon herself, I reckon another blue hero, so we're kind of getting a double whammy of blues this month, titled the Wind Serpent, assault class hero, Storm of Throwing Stars. So it'll be interesting to see what her skill is. Maybe it's something like Zodiac and Emma and that kind of thing, where it's a multi-hitter. That'd be kind of cool. I don't think we have a blue multi-hitter off the top of my head. I can't think of any blue ones. I might be missing one, but I don't think there are any. So it'll be interesting to see what her skill actually is, and how she compares to all of those other Monster Island heroes. Generally though, as I said, the Monster Island heroes have actually been pretty awesome as a whole, particularly the new ones. So yeah, double check, no blue multi-hitter. So if Ribbon is a multi-hitter, she'll be the first one. So, but anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. So keep an eye out for that review video as well. Then to close out the month, we've got 2 final events. So we've got the second iteration of the Undercover Gala. So Wildcat and Powell as the 2 variant heroes that are featured. Powell is definitely better in his variant form than his base form. Still not fantastic, but very much better. His heal is actually quite decent in the variant form. Wildcat, I don't know. I would say that her normal version is actually better than the variant version. But it's worth still leveling that variant for the stat bonus. But yeah, I haven't actually done any of the variant hero reviews yet. I'm sort of kind of hoping that by the time I get through a lot of the other hero reviews and I get around to the variants, that the rest of them, there's still actually 10 variants, Season 1 variants, that haven't been added on the 5-star arena. So I'm hoping that they'll be added before I have to get to them. But otherwise, we'll I guess, do 2 batches. So yeah, that's the Undercover Gala. I'd say if you're going to choose between the 2, and hopefully I get this out in time for you to choose between the 2, I would go the one that's on right now, the variant Logan and variant Stinger version. I'd say that those 2 are much, much better variant heroes than Wildcat and Powell. Variant Logan does an AoE 3 defense down, so he's kind of like a Season 1 version of Ghost. He's also got the ailment duration increase, which is an insanely powerful effect, particularly for war machines. Really, really great effect. And Variant Stinger is a warfighter class hero who does pretty hefty damage, self-heal, and a charge cut. So she's kind of got like the full package going for her. Like a poor man's version, I guess, of Flak is possibly how you could describe her. But yeah, I'd say the current one, the one in the end of August, is the better one to summon towards rather than the one at the end of September. Finally, to close out the month, we've got the Mutant Mayhem event, which is seemingly featuring a new hero. We've not seen that face before. It is an interesting face. So we'll just wait and see what that one is. Nektu has obviously got limited space, so hasn't put any details on this calendar about who that or what that hero is. But Venus looks to be the other featured hero. So Mutant Mayhem is another challenge event. 30 stages, and green is the reflect color. So red is quite powerful. So we often see a lot of players using Pumpernickel on rare, a lot of uses of Foxtrot on epic, and then legendary, you obviously got heroes like Tightwire, who kind of dominates at the higher level because of that multi-hitting function that he's got. So Mutant Mayhem is the newest of them. It's probably got the best spread of heroes out of all of them. It's also got the most heroes of any of the challenge events. All of the other challenge events have only got 5 heroes. So they had the OG 3s, like the 3 original 5-star heroes, and then 2 additional ones. Whereas the Mutant Mayhem, I think, is going to now be up to 8 or 9 heroes. So quite a lot more than the original ones did or do have as well. So yeah, Venus though, absolutely insane hero. Great healer. Up there amongst probably the top 5 or 6 healers in the game when you factor in both her immediate heal and the minion and the healing each turn that the minions do. So really great healer. Worth summoning for. That's probably going to be one of the better featured options that you can get in terms of using your challenge event coins. So maybe keep some savings going towards that portal. So on the whole, if we look at the month as a complete month, I would say that the portals to summon towards Mutant Mayhem, I would say is actually my pick for this month. Normally I say the Season 2 portal is the best one, but I would actually change my vote this time, and I'm going to say Mutant Mayhem is going to be the best one to summon for. Season 2 is probably second best. Emerald is amazing, Dark Skull less so, so that's sort of the basis for it being a little bit lower down. And then if I had to put a third in, I'd probably say Monster Island would be third option. Battle of the Bands is good, but no featured heroes kind of hurts it a lot. Manor of Legends, I'd say, is not great, and the Undercover Gala and Grand Heist are also not going to be great options either compared to some of those other portals in there. So yeah, but on the portals, as always, you know, set your budget for the entire month. Look at it as a whole month and say, I'm going to do X number of summons in this portal and that portal, and then stick to that budget, because that's, at the end of the day, a very useful tool for controlling spend in this game, which is ultimately a bit of a casino. So yeah, otherwise on the calendar, as always, we've got the rare quests. So we've got the night vision goggles on the 2nd, speed holster on the 11th, ghillie suit on the 20th, and then memory stick on the 29th, or thereabouts. You know, it's not going to be an exact date necessarily, but it's there or thereabouts. Also got the war bonuses as well as the emblems, so check those out if you wish. And we can also see the tournaments for the month as well. So we've got currently the charged attack 4-star, no yellows is going at the moment. And then we kick off the month of September with a 5-star buff booster, no yellow, then a 4-star bloody battle, all elements, a 5-star charged attack, no red, a 3-star buff booster, no purple, and then finally at the end of September / start of October, we have got a bloody battle 5-star, all elements one going on there at the bottom. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to really say about the calendar. Nektu's still got a running commentary about the number of participants in the tournaments. I'd say it's probably evened off a little bit. It doesn't look to be really going up and down just to the naked eye. Yes, it's decreased from 2 years ago or 6 years ago. 5 months ago. But, you know, in the last couple of weeks, it doesn't look to have changed too much. It's hard to see because the scaling is a little bit weird, but yeah, anyway, that's on the bottom there, so feel free to check that if you like. But otherwise, I mean, there's not really too much else to say. Thank you once again to Nektu for putting the calendar together, but otherwise, I'm probably going to sign it off there. So yeah, cheers for joining me. Good luck throughout the month. Hopefully you're eventing and summoning and general gameplaying wars, everything else, it all goes well, and you have a absolutely delightful time. So yeah, I will be a little bit quiet, I should say, as well, through the middle portion of this month. I'm going to be going away on holidays, and I probably won't be doing too much or any content during that period. So it's from about the 18th through to the 26th. Or thereabouts. So I might not actually even get to do the review of Ribbon, and it'll have to be the next Monster Island when I get that one out. So anyway, see how we go. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Good luck. Hopefully you stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch you guys throughout this month as it goes by. Anyway, have a good one. Cheers. Bye.